Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know me, I of course am the FPL Train. Now in today's video we're going to be doing some transfer plans or plays to look at ahead of Game Week 23 onwards. Of course I've not done one of these videos for quite some time. I decided not to do one over the Christmas period and even at the start of January, just because there have been so many double game weeks. I just didn't have the time to do all these videos, so I decided to hold off since Game Week 17 now. So finally, we are back to do a transfer plans or transfer ideas video. And in today's video, we're obviously going to be doing the same old as always. We're going to be looking back on the previous transfers that I recommended. So these are the three guys I recommended way back in Game Week 17. And then we're going to be looking at Game Week 23 onwards. And we're looking at, of course, one defender, one midfielder, and one striker. So these are the three players that I recommended way back in Game Week 17. Now, I've got to say, one of them did really well. One of them didn't do so well, and one of them was pretty shocking. So anyway, the first player, you can already see his score on there. He scored 41 points since Game Week 17. So that's 6 game weeks he has played, and that is an absolute incredible score from him. So Aina averaged about 6 points per game in the last 6 games. That is absolutely incredible. I mean, when I said sign him, well, bring him in, I didn't think he would do that well, if I'm being honest. I mean, especially when that first game, way back in Game Week 17, he got a 15-pointer against Brentford. That is absolutely unbelievable. Then he got a clean sheet against Spurs at home. Got 8 points away at Everton, incredible. 6 points away at Wolves, another clean sheet there. Only got the 2 against Liverpool at home, but, you know, that was one hell of a battle. I thought Forest did really well, and they nearly got that game won as well. Then he got 4 points against Southampton, which was actually the biggest surprise out of the lot. We all anticipated him to get a clean sheet there because Southampton was shocking, and I couldn't believe they scored 2 goals, but he did get an assist in that game. So the guy is absolutely, he has been incredible. There's no doubt about it. At the time, he was 4.9 million when I recommended. Now his price has gone up to 5.3 million. So everybody's locked in on him. He was 4.5 million at the start of the season. So he's been absolutely sensational this season. And if you have got him, would I say keep him now going forward? Honestly, you just don't know this Forest team because they just keep winning games. But what I would say is keep him to Game Week 25. And after Fulham in Game Week 25, they do have the likes of Newcastle, Arsenal and Man United. So you could either leave him on the bench, especially if you brought him back then at 4.5 million, you could leave him on the bench. But if you sign him around about the 5 million mark, yeah, I could understand if you got rid of him from Game Week 26. But anyways, from Game Week 17 right up to today, he has been absolutely sensational. So next up on here, then we did have Iwobi of Fulham. At the time, you know, I thought this guy would be amazing because he has some decent fixtures Fulham did from Game Week 17. So overall, he did score 25 points from Game Week 17 onwards. So that's averaged 4 points a game, which isn't the worst, I've got to say. But when I look back at the fixtures, I felt like one fixture particularly has saved him. So Game Week 17, when I recommended bringing Iwobi in, Fulham had Southampton at home. And I felt like that was a no-brainer. You needed a Fulham attacker for that fixture. I think we were all surprised when that game finished 0-0. So he only came away with 3 points there. Then after that, he played the likes of Chelsea and he got 2 points. Bournemouth, 2 points. Those two are tough games, to be fair, this season. Then they had Ipswich in Game Week 20 at home as well. So you're thinking he would do well there. That wasn't the case. They drew 2-2, but he didn't get any assists and he didn't get any goals. So that was really disappointing. And he went off after 62 minutes. Usually he's like a 90-minute man. So that was a big surprise. So disappointing there. But then Game Week 21... he absolutely smashed it against West Ham. Although they lost 3-2, this guy scored 2 goals and got the 3 bonus points, which meant he came away with 15 points. So you think about it. You get rid of those 15 points there, the guys come away with 10 points in 5 game weeks, which is poor. That's really bad. So the West Ham game, in my opinion, is definitely saved him because Game Week 22, Leicester City away, he only got 1 point. He only played 45 minutes, which is really disappointing as well. So he's not on the pitch as much anymore than what he was at the start of the season. He was playing 90 minutes non-stop. Now he is getting subbed off occasionally. So yeah, when you're looking back from Game Week 17 onwards, yes, he scored 25 points, which averaged 4 points a game since then. But that West Ham game, getting 15 points in one game, has definitely saved you. So if you did have it from game week 17 onwards up to now, you're definitely lucky with that. But anyways, what would you do with Iwobi now? I would probably sell him, if I'm being honest. So he was 5.7 million when I recommended at the time. He has gone up to 5.9 million. Now the fixture he's got, so we've got Man United at home. Man United have been poor. They've been poor for a while. They've been poor for years, to be honest. But you could argue that you could have him because he's at Craven Cottage. But then he's got the likes of Newcastle away. I don't like that. Forest at home, tough. Palace are in form at home. Then he's got Wolves away, which is probably the nicest fixture, because then after that they've got Brighton, Spurs, who have been awful, to be fair. But I think by March they'll have sorted themselves out. You'd think Arsenal, Liverpool, and Bournemouth, Chelsea. So it's not until game week 34, really, where Southampton away is probably the fixture I'd look at Fulham. And when I'm looking at actually the rest of the fixtures for the rest of the season, 34 is Southampton, 36 is Everton. After that, there's nothing really there. So if you've, I mean, I've got Fulham assets. So if you've got Fulham assets, I've got to be honest, it's probably best now to get rid of them. Maybe wait to the Man United game because they're so bad, but then after that, get rid of them, because I think now we've gone past what we could with them players. So yeah, 25 points out of 6 game weeks. Not the best, but it could have been a lot worse. Now the final player is, of course, Nicholas Jackson, who, unlike Aina and Iwobi, has been piss poor since game week 17. Like, he has been shocking. 13 points in 6 game weeks. That's averaging just about 2 points a game he's been doing, just over. Awful. That's all I can say. So, since game week 17, so I said bring in Nicholas Jackson in game week 17. He had Everton away. The reason why I recommended him was because, one, it was a good fixture. Because after Everton, it was Fulham, Ipswich, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, and Wolves. So that's the fixtures they had. The away ones were Ipswich and Crystal Palace. The rest on Everton. The rest are at home, right? So you're thinking, okay. Before that, I'd like to mention, game weeks 12 to 16, Chelsea had won all of those games. He got 12 points against Leicester, 6 against Aston Villa, and 9 in game week 16 against Brentford. So he was in decent form, right? Since game week 17, so game week 17 he had Everton away, 0-0, didn't get anything. Game week 18 against Fulham, 0-0. Oh, sorry, not 0-0. 2-1, didn't get anything, and they lost that game. Then lost 2-0 to Ipswich, and he only played 35 minutes in that game, so he didn't even start that game. I mean, that was a massive shock, not just the fact he didn't start, but the fact Chelsea lost 2-0 to Ipswich. Then he started against Crystal Palace away, 1-1, nothing from him. Then the only game he has got a return, which was an assist, was against Bournemouth in that 2-2 draw. Even then, he still got a bloody yellow card, so that weren't exactly the best. And then finally, with the game just gone last night, he played obviously Wolves. Chelsea scored 3 goals. He played 90 minutes, and the guy got nothing. Absolutely nothing. So he has been absolutely awful. Sorry if you did sign him, because he has been dreadful. I had him at some point in my team and I had to take him out because I couldn't handle it anymore. Going forward, when you look at the fixtures, he's got Man City away next game. I mean, I can't see him doing well there. Then it's West Ham, Brighton, and Aston Villa coming up. I just want to have him for those games, for being honest. Game week 27 and 28 is at home to Southampton and Leicester, which is nice. But if I'm being honest, by that point, if you're looking at 3 attackers for Chelsea, I'd probably avoid Jackson. But then again, it might be worth a gamble then. But after game week 28, 29 has got Arsenal, Spurs, and Brentford. I would have got rid of him definitely by then. So those are the 3 players in I recommended way back in game week 17. So obviously, Aina was fantastic. Iwobi saved you with West Ham. But Nicholas Jackson has been poor, absolutely poor since game week 17. So one did really well, one did okay, and one was just absolutely dreadful. Right then, so transfers then for game week 23. The first player on here is, of course, Virgil van Dijk of Liverpool. The reason why I've gone for Virgil van Dijk is, one, he is cheaper than Trent, which is, you know, a bonus there. He's a 100% starter. He's played every minute of every game so far this season. He's playing for a team that's top of the league. It's only lost once this season, and that's the Forest way back near towards the start of the season. So that's incredible in itself. 2, fixtures short term in particular are really, really nice. So obviously game 23 they got Ipswich away. I think that's a nice fixture. I mean, look, Ipswich has conceded 6 against Man City at home. So why can't Liverpool do the same, eh? Then they've got that all important double game week in game week 24, which is a reason why I've gone for Virgil van Dijk instead of Trent. So if you've not got either, the cheaper option is usually the better option when you got a double game week, if you need to get funds in that. So you need 3 players in my opinion for game week 24. Majority of you have probably got Salah, so you need 2 more players. I think you definitely need to get Virgil van Dijk in. He's a 100% starter. Trent could easily get rotated, possibly. You just don't know, like Robertson. So for me, you got to get Virgil van Dijk in, 6.4 million. Yes, Bournemouth have been really good this season, but the fact is Liverpool top of the league for a reason. Yes, they are both away from home, but Liverpool top of the league for a reason. Now, they have been conceding goals recently, which is a bit frustrating. They have just won, of course, 2-0 recently, or in the last game, which I say, against Brentford. But then, after that, they did concede a goal against Forest and 2 against United, which is it's nothing to knock them about, basically. But, conceding 3 against Spurs probably weren't great. 1 to Leicester, 2 to Fulham, and 3 to Newcastle wasn't the best. But I do still believe that it will do really well. Because they obviously, game week 25, then they do have Wolves at home, which is also a cracking fixture for Liverpool. 26 and 27 isn't exactly the easiest with Man City and Newcastle, but you never know. I think Liverpool are better than Man City. They can do a job there, and Newcastle, their form might have been gone by that point. But if you do have him by game week 27, keep him for 28 because we've got Southampton at home. So that's the reason why I think we should look at Van Dijk. I'm definitely seriously considering bringing into my team for game week 23 because I need more Liverpool players going forward, particularly because of game week 24 with that double game week. Moving on to the midfield change then, and it's Morgan Rogers of Aston Villa. So I've not gone for any Liverpool midfielders. I've not gone for any Everton midfielders, even though they've got double game weeks in 24. I mean, I'm not going anywhere near Everton players, but Liverpool players, you could argue with going for certain players, but they do get rotated, don't forget that. But anyway, Morgan Rogers, and why Morgan Rogers? Well, for one, he's dirt cheap. He's literally 5.5 million, so he's an absolute bargain of a player to get in your team. He's been brilliant for Aston Villa this season. 6 goals, 5 assists in the league. Starts every game for him. He's absolutely quality, in my personal opinion. Fixtures going forward as well. Next 3 in particular, you got West Ham, Wolves, Ipswich. All winnable fixtures, in my personal opinion. Like I said as well, he's 5.5 million. So, dirt cheap. He scores goals. He's got great fixtures. You could argue game week 26, Chelsea's tough, but they concede goals, Chelsea. So, I won't have any problem starting then. And Crystal Palace, I still think he can do one there. I don't know why. The FPL got Crystal Palace down as like a grey kind of fixture, a tougher fixture, because in my personal opinion, that should probably be green, if I'm being honest. Just because they've been a little bit of form recently doesn't mean they're going to do one there. And the fact that it's at Selhurst Park doesn't really make me feel like Villa are going to struggle, if I'm being honest. So, Morgan Rogers, dirt cheap, get him in your team, good fixtures going forward. He has been absolute quality. And I've heard as well he likes the ball hogs, which is great because that means he takes more shots, which gives you more chance of scoring goals. Now the final play is Kai Havertz. You could think that's controversial, particularly Arsenal fans. They're probably shouting going, that is a shocking decision. Why would you want to go for Kai Havertz? Well, look, I know he's been in some bad form recently. Now I nearly put him on my team for game week 22. And he scored in game week 22. Because I had a feeling he's going to score sooner rather than later. He's had so many chances. We've all seen it. And some of the misses have been bad. Particularly in that FA Cup game against United. But it can only last so long. And he did score against Aston Villa, like I've said. So he did come away with 7 points in that game week. So obviously before that, he did get a couple of 0 pointers against the likes of Brentford and Brighton. And just that 1 point at Spurs. But look, he's going to start for Arsenal at the end of the day. He's got 8 goals this season. He's got 2 assists. Like I said, he's going to be starting. There's no issue with that at all. With Jesus out injured now for the rest of the season, he's got no competition. So, these are the fixtures that he's got in the next 5 game weeks. Wolves away. Can he score in that game? I don't see why not. Man City at home. Man City keep conceding. I can see Kai Havertz scoring there. Leicester leaking goals for fun. West Ham are leaking goals. And then Forest, you could argue, is probably this tougher fixture. Arsenal need to win games to even stay in the title race. They have to score goals to win games. Kai Havertz is 100% starter for him. It just makes sense to go for him. Everybody else is deserting him. He's only 7.9% owned now. So everybody else has left him. So why everybody else is leaving him, why not go for him? I myself is somebody that owns, let's say, Ollie Watkins. I don't know if Ollie Watkins is going to be starting every game, obviously, because Duran's not left yet, and if he doesn't leave, then it's going to be a problem for me. So that is why I'll probably go, why not go for Kai Havertz while everybody else is going for, let's say, Isak, for example. I mean, obviously, Isak's in incredible form. Look, but why not go somewhere different? I know he's not been great recently, but he did score, like I just said, against Aston Villa. So he might be worth a gamble. I know Arsenal fans probably screaming saying he's not. Don't go near him, but why not go for the gamble, eh? So yeah, those are the 3 players then I'm going to be recommending for game week 23 onwards. So that's Virgil van Dijk. Now, if you want to go for Konate, cheaper option, get that. He 100% start. And if you want to go for the more expensive option in Trent Alexander-Arnold, I get that as well. But get a Liverpool defender in for game week 24. That is a must. And game week 23 is a nice fixture for him anyways. Midfield-wise then, you've got a great pick there in obviously Morgan Rogers. He's 5.5 million, dirt cheap. Why not go for him as well? And then, of course, Kai Havertz. I mean, I would like to put a shout out for Anthony Gordon for midfield as well. I should probably look more into him. But anyways, and obviously the forward is being Kai Havertz. So let me know what you think of these 3 transfers then for game week 23 onwards. Let me know what, guys, your transfers are going into this game week. Please as well, before you go, don't forget to like this video. Even if you don't like it, just like it anyway. Hit subscribe as well. And I'll see you all on the next one.